Hello, hello. As much as I really do love watching foundation review videos, I'm really not somebody who goes out and buys every latest and greatest new release foundation. But there is something about the new Charlotte Tillbury Foundation that really grabbed my attention and inspired me to do my very first dedicated foundation review video. Now granted, I have shared some foundations with you in Get Readies with Me and Favorites videos, but I've never done a dedicated foundation review video. So if you would like to see how the new Charlotte's Beautiful Skin works on my 62-year-old very dry skin, throw this video a thumbs up and let's jump into it right now. Foundations are so incredibly personal. What works beautifully for one person can be an utter failure for another. So I think it's really important to know what I'm dealing with that impacts how a foundation looks and performs on my skin, and hopefully that makes it easier to determine if a foundation will work or not for your skin. As I've already said, I am 62 years old. My skin is very dry, especially this time of year. It is January. I live in the Midwest and it was below 0 yesterday. So I do experience some very dry skin, especially in the winter months. Of course, at 62, I have fine lines. I have some not so fine lines. I actually have some fairly deep forehead wrinkles, and I definitely have some hyperpigmentation, brown spots, age spots, sunspots, whatever you'd like to call them. As far as foundation preferences, I enjoy a light to a medium coverage. Matte foundation is not my friend. Not only do I find it to look sort of makeup-y on me, but it really seems to suck the life out of my skin and just makes my skin look much drier and quite a bit older. I do enjoy a satin natural skin-like finish. Who doesn't want their skin to look like skin? And I also enjoy a radiant, luminous, somewhat glowy finish, not overly glowy or dewy. So I think my sweet spot is anywhere from satin, natural skin-like finish to radiant, luminous, glowy. Keeping all that in mind, the Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation seems to check a lot of my boxes. So let's look at the claims on the package. Charlotte is nothing if not dramatic. There are some pretty wild numbers on her package here. Skin looks more radiant by up to 285%. Skin looks plumper by 181%. More even by 210%. To me, those numbers just sound frankly a little bit bizarre. Apparently, they got those numbers by interviewing a fairly small control group, so I don't really put any weight in those overly dramatized numbers. So let's just look at the generalized claims on the box. A medium coverage, light as air foundation infused with hyaluronic acid plus a brightening rose complex. Skin looks more beautiful instantly and over time for a healthy looking glow and a brighter, smoother looking complexion. All good things, right? It does come in 30 shades. I did go into Sephora and had them shade match me. You know, they did that shade matching camera where they take a picture of your cheek, they take a picture of your forehead, input it into a computer. They came up with 4N, which is a really good shade match for me. The Charlotte's Beautiful Skin comes in a 30 ml 1 ounce tube. It is a recyclable tube. It is fragrance-free, it is cruelty-free, it's made in Italy. It is $44, which is on the upper end of my comfort zone. Definitely getting into the luxury zone, but certainly not Giorgio Armani or Tom Ford or Lisa Eldridge, and certainly not La Mer. So like I said, it's on the upper end of my comfort zone, certainly an expensive foundation. Does have some skin-loving ingredients like glycerin, hyaluronic acid, some other skin-loving ingredients. This does not contain any SPF, which is 100% okay with me. I never ever rely on my foundation to provide any of my sun protection. So let's get some of this on my face. I've already done all my AM skincare, including my dedicated daily SPF. Today I'm using one of my favorites, which is the Dermatology Tinted Mineral Moisturizer SPF 44. Now, even though this calls itself a tinted moisturizer, I view this as more of a moisturizing SPF. This is not moisturizing enough for my skin to skip a dedicated moisturizer. I always use a moisturizer and then I use this as a moisturizing SPF. If you have oilier skin, you may be able to use this as your moisturizer, but I just wanted to confirm, because it does call itself a tinted moisturizer, I always have to use a moisturizer and treat this more as a moisturizing SPF. So let's play with Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation. Like I said, it comes in a squeezy tube. It does have a pump. And there it is. You can see it is a little bit runny. You know, the texture of this foundation is really, really interesting. Even though it's not a heavy, thick cream, it does have a sort of a thick viscosity to it. A really creamy, silky viscosity is the best way I can describe it. It's not thin and watery. It's not thick and creamy. It really has an interesting texture. I don't think I have another foundation quite with that texture. And that is what it looks like blended into the skin. I think it's a really good match for me and a really pretty radiant finish. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to apply one side of my face with my fingers, but I know many of you enjoy using a foundation brush. So on this side of my face, I will apply the foundation with a foundation brush, and I'm going to use one of my favorites. This is the BK Beauty 106 round foundation brush. Okay, before I apply the foundation, I want to make sure that you can see the hyperpigmentation. I have plenty of brown spots, and let's get this on the skin. You know, it feels really nice going on the skin. It has, like I said, a creaminess to it, but it blends really, really beautifully and easily. I mean, I think that's really blending itself. I think that really, really just blended so easily. Now I am going to take a damp sponge and just make sure it is worked into the skin. And make sure I take it down my neck a little tiny bit. Okay, so let's take a look at the coverage. I do think it is a medium coverage, so this is the coverage side. This is no foundation. I think you could see how easily it blended in. It really does disappear into the skin. I think it does have a radiant finish. It does feel a little slightly bit tacky, but not overly so. So let's get some foundation on this side of my face. I'm going to again go in with one pump. And again, we are using the BK Beauty 106 round foundation brush. And let's see how it looks on this side. You know, a lot of times people say to start at the center of your face. I usually start a little bit more on the side of my face because that's actually where I need a little bit more coverage with all those brown spots. But I do try to apply an even layer. Now the brush definitely ate up some of the foundation. That is blending so easily. I do need a little bit more here. And I'm really just sort of patting it into the skin. I'm not doing a lot of swiping at this point. And make sure I bring it down the neck. And then I always do finish up the blend with my damp sponge. I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, especially around the hairline, down the neck. Okay, so there is the coverage and the finish with a brush. And there is the coverage and the finish with my fingers. Let me take a closer look and give you my thoughts. I'm going to use a magnifying mirror here. It is not giving me polka dot pores. It's not settling into my marionette lines. It looks nice around my nostrils. In these deeper forehead lines, it's definitely sort of settling in those, but I don't know if you would be able to see that from any kind of a distance. Same thing over here. I do have some pretty deep forehead lines, and it did settle into those. But in general, I think it looks really pretty on the skin. It has a nice radiant finish. And for my lines that are not quite as deep, it really did not settle into any of those. The foundation feels, tacky is too strong of a word, but it does feel like I just put some really rich moisturizer on and like I need to have it soak into my skin before I proceed with the rest of my makeup. So let me see how this dries down over the next couple of minutes, and I will get the rest of my makeup on and I will come back and show you how it looks with a full face of makeup. Be right back. All right, I am back. Makeup is done. Makeup went over the foundation really nicely. The foundation still feels a little bit like a moisturizer. It definitely did not dry down to any kind of a velvet finish, but I did not need to apply any setting or finishing powder for my powder blush to apply very nicely over the foundation. Now, because this is a foundation review, I'm not going to go into detail about the other makeup that I have on my face. I will list all the products in the description box below as always, but I do want to call out one thing. Today I am wearing the BK Beauty lip liner in the shade Sweet Pea, and there is the shade Sweet Pea. And the reason I wanted to mention that specifically is BK Beauty is having a sale on all their lip liners and their lipsticks. So this is just a lip liner on my lips right now in the shade Sweet Pea. So I wanted to show you how nice that lip liner works as basically a lipstick. But I am going to go over the lip liner with the BK Beauty lipstick in the shade Inner Beauty. And there is the lipstick Inner Beauty over the lip liner Sweet Pea. And again, I just wanted to call attention to this because BK Beauty is having a pretty good sale on their lipsticks now through February 14th. I really do like their lipsticks. They're balmy and hydrating, but very long lasting. And I really love their elegant magnetic packaging. Anyway, back to the foundation. I'm going to take a close-up look of the foundation right now. Then we're going to go outside and I'm going to show you how it looks in natural daylight. And then later on today, I will come back and show you how it wore throughout the day. So let me take a quick look here. You know, I think it does have a really pretty radiant finish. It is definitely not settling into my pores, no polka dot pores. It looks good around my nose area, not settling into my marionette lines. There is still a little bit of settling in these deeper forehead lines, but I don't think that is noticeable at any kind of a conversational level. So let's go outside and see how this foundation looks in natural daylight. All right. Taken one for the team here. Here is the makeup outside. I have the sunlight behind me, so that is more indirect light. Now let's find some direct light and see how it looks in the very bright January sunshine. And here we are in very bright, direct January sunlight. Even on the coldest winter day, getting a little bit of sun shining on the face feels so good. That's the makeup. End of the day check-in. It's been about 8 hours since I first applied my makeup. I did a couple of errands, so I did wear a mask for a little while. I walked Bosley, I had dinner. I did not touch up my makeup at all throughout the day. I didn't even reapply my lipstick. And I think you can still see a little lip color there. That is testament to the BK Beauty lip pencil being a very long-lasting and slightly staining lipstick. But we're not here to talk about lipstick. We are here to talk about foundation. Like I said, I did not touch up my makeup at all throughout the day. So here is how it is looking at the 8-hour mark. I'm not sure if you're really going to be able to see it very well because it is pitch black out. I have no natural daylight and the studio lights are probably making it look a little bit more glowy than it actually is. But here are my thoughts on the Charlotte Beautiful Skin Foundation. I really like it. I think it applied beautifully, it blended easily, it gave me a beautiful, radiant, medium coverage, and it really kept my skin feeling very moisturized and hydrated throughout the day. I think it aged gracefully. I don't notice any weird patchiness. You know, I'm sure it's a little bit worn off. I don't know if you can tell, but it wore off beautifully and gracefully. Bottom line on the Charlotte Beautiful Skin Foundation, I really like it. I think it is a perfect fit for my 62-year-old very dry skin. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable, and if you did, I would love it if you would throw it a thumbs up. You know that really helps support my channel, and I very much appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful day and a wonderful week. I look forward to visiting with you in the comments section, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.